Now, into the ticket office of Disneyland.
Oh boy, let's do this. Don't think the CIA is going to be trying to hack your second-gen iPod.
I didn't think so. There might have been a lot of illegal music on there. I wouldn't doubt it. But, I mean...
You were supposed to bring death to the flagships, not join them.
Google has found a new way to piss me off.
iTunes is a constant source of embarrassment.
Behind-the-scenes camera crap.
Here, tell us about courage, Phil. Tell us about courage.
I am Manila. I can't do it anymore without laughing. I was going to do the whole thing. Welcome, everyone, to the Calling All Platforms podcast. I'm your host, Wes, and I'm here with Landon.
Hello.
And Caleb.
Hey.
And all of us are together, and we are here to talk all things tech, you guys.
Woohoo.
Because last time I was not here. I was playing what Caleb's children like to call is Cheese Santa.
It's true. Yes.
Delivering cheese to the world. Yes, I work in a food manufacturing plant, and I help deliver it. So
you definitely do that more than one time a year, though.
It's true.
I mean, could you imagine if you only got cheese one time a year?
That would be so sad.
Right?
Everyone would die.
Everyone would die.
Like, this is a vital service to society that you provide. So
it is true.
We're all grateful.
At least to your kids, right? And you.
They're very grateful, yes.
Oh, it's awesome. I'm glad I can be of service. But anyway, we're here to talk things tech, not food. Unless you really want to, because we could really get into some recipes, cookers.
We could, actually. We should start a food podcast, because I have so many things to say about food.
Should we call it Calling All Foods, Calling All Platters? Huh?
Calling All Platters. Oh my gosh. That's actually awesome.
Hurry. We better make that quick. Trademark. Anyway, let's talk tech. Let's talk tech here. Caleb, why don't you go ahead and start us off? What do you want to talk about?
All right, listener, we are going to dive once again into the wonderful world of Apple news that is not actually news, otherwise known as rumors. Hey, it's been a while since I've touched on Apple rumors because they frustrate me more than anything else, so I tend not to dwell on them. But there is a product that Apple has been rumored to be working on for years at this point, and we are now approaching what is rumored to be an actual launch date for this thing. I am, of course, talking about the Apple Augmented Reality headset. Now, to be clear, at this point, it's looking a lot less like a mixed reality type thing from Microsoft and more like just Apple's version of the Meta Quest Pro, where it's a full-on VR headset that has high-resolution cameras that give you an augmented reality thing, but it's still not like a true mixed reality Google Glass kind of whatever setup. So just to be clear, when we say AR headset from Apple, it's a VR headset with really nice cameras. So I'm going to round up all the rumors for this thing. It is rumored to be launching possibly as early as WWDC, but the current direction everybody's leaning is that it's going to be launching alongside the iPhone toward the end of the year. There's still some people holding on to hope that it comes at the beginning of the year, but I think the consensus at this point is that no, second half of the year.
Yeah, that makes the most sense to me. I think what's going to happen is that they're going to announce the platform at WWDC, give developers time to do something with it, because they're not going to announce a piece of hardware with no software other than the app after the Apple Watch, because that was fun.
Yes, no, that's very valid. And I think that where the confusion may be coming from is that most of these rumors are coming from Mark Gurman and his weekly letters that update people on stuff like this. And he has at various times said that it would be the first half of 2023 and the second half of 2023. And he's also said possibly early 2024. So I think that what may be happening here is, it's like Landon said, Apple is planning on showing off the software and teasing the platform at WWDC in the first half of 2023, and then maybe giving us a preview of the hardware, but we're not actually going to see any hardware launches until the second half of the year. So just to give developers a chance to prepare for it a little bit and actually get some things onto the platform. And I don't know what that entails. I guess Beat Saber or something. Just whatever.
I mean, that's popular. Let's be real.
It really is. So yeah, that's Apple's AR headset plans, and theoretically we should be seeing it this year sometime. Now, the rumors do indicate that it's going to be $2,000 to $3,000. So that's awesome. Ooh. And they're going to be calling it the quote unquote Apple Reality Pro. Okay, that's going to be the name of the thing. Rumored to be processing via an M2 chip on board, along with some kind of dedicated VR coprocessor that is going to be doing, I guess, rendering stuff in addition to whatever the onboard graphics of the M2 are doing. So I don't know if that's just extra GPU horsepower to go along with it to help render what's supposed to be 4K lenses and whatnot, at running at like 120 FPS, I believe. So pretty good for a VR headset, similar specs to Valve's Index headset, in fact. As to why it costs twice as much as Valve's Index headset, I'm going to assume it's because the entire thing is milled from a single billet of aluminum and it's way smaller.
It has an Apple logo on it. That's
it.
Really
yes.
what it is.
No, it's a standalone device as well. So
yeah,
very premium device. It's standalone, doesn't require you to be tethered to anything. And it's supposed to have very similar lens specs to extremely high end, existing VR headsets. So there's that. It's also rumored that this thing is not going to be coming with any kind of remotes for your hands. So it's going to be doing advanced hand tracking instead of that. And supposedly is going to be so sophisticated that it will let you type in the air, right? Like just keyboard out in front of you and you can just type on it.
They already had a really bad keyboard experience. Do they really want another one?
They have had so many bad keyboard experiences, let's be honest. So Apple, this is not a great direction to go with this. And the rumors are currently that this is genuinely a pretty finicky input method. So yeah. Now, the reason, no kidding, the reason that this is an input method is because supposedly you're not going to have to pair this thing to an iPhone or something like that in order to set it up and use it. It is going to be a truly standalone experience, and you can set it up by itself without the aid of an external device. And apparently, that's what the keyboard is for, so you can enter passwords and stuff like that. But if the rumors are correct about this keyboard entry, if the rumors and common sense are correct about this keyboard entry being terrible, you're probably going to want an iPhone anyways to pair it to. So, yep, that's kind of where we're at for this Reality Pro device. Now, Mark Gurman has also said that Apple is already planning to replace this thing as quickly as possible with a second generation of devices called the Reality Pro 2 or whatever, and the Reality 1, which will be a substantially cheaper device that is more mass market focused. So pretty much this first generation is just for the crazy Apple fanatic early adopters, and normal people should not even think about it, is basically where we're at with this. I guess the M2 is actually just not what Apple wants to put in it. Like, it's not the chip that they want. It's not good enough, but they're releasing the product anyways. So that's
all right.
Great.
It's very Samsung of them.
It is, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Apple's AR rumor rundown, basically where we stand with everything right now. We're obviously going to see more details about this thing coming over the next few months, but at this point, I feel like enough of the device is understood that pretty much we're just waiting for Apple to actually release something. So the next time I talk about this headset, listener, it will probably have actually been announced officially. So there we go.
Gotcha.
All right. Now, I want to revisit something that we talked about on our last episode really fast. Like, I'm not going to go back into the whole, Bing's AI thing versus Google's AI thing again and compare and contrast. But I just want to explain, I think, why. Because we talked, me and Landon talked a little bit on the last episode of the podcast about what we were seeing in the tech press that was like, oh my gosh, Bing is it's a quantum leap over what Google has. They're going to destroy Google at their own game and yada, yada, yada. Like, why was everybody responding like that to what was essentially just Bing saying, hey, we got our AI chat thing live a little bit faster than Google did theirs. Hey, Is it better than Google's? Probably not. Is it perfect? Obviously not.
No.
The thing had like mental breakdowns over the past couple of weeks to the extent where Microsoft has literally lobotomized it. So, it's a work in progress, we'll put it that way. But Tech Press was still just the reporting was very, very strange with all of this. And this past week, Marquez Brownlee said something that made me think about it, recontextualize this whole competition a little bit, and I think makes sense why everybody is paying attention to Microsoft and why it seems like Google is doing nothing, right? It seems like Microsoft has jumped way ahead with all of this technology and Google is falling behind. They're probably not. But, and here's what he said, Bing has everything to gain. Google has everything to lose. Right?
Yep.
In the competition here, if Google screws up, they lose their entire business model. Because advertising on search is still like 60 to 70% of their revenue. Whereas Bing is like a tiny little blip on a spreadsheet somewhere in Microsoft's revenue. It makes them virtually no money. So if they screw this up, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. But if they get it right, then they have a chance to take away some of that pie that Google has been hoarding all to themselves for this, for decades at this point. So that's why it seems like Microsoft has jumped way ahead of Google. It's because Microsoft can take stupid risks and make giant mistakes in this space, and it doesn't hurt them. Whereas if Google were to do the same thing that Microsoft is doing, it would destroy their reputation and would therefore destroy their business. So yeah, just one last comment on the whole thing. That's why it looks like Bing is so far ahead of Google. It's because they can do that kind of thing and run the risk of making a giant error where Google can't. So
makes sense.
Yep. It was enlightening to me. And so just wanted to follow up, make sure, listener, that you understand there really isn't that much difference between Google and Microsoft in terms of what they're capable of, but what you are seeing is not necessarily going to jive with that, just because Bing, they've got everything to gain. They can take as many risks as they want because if it works, holy cow, that's awesome. Whereas Google, they've already got it. And if they lose it, then that's the end of Google as we know it. Like the entire company, Alphabet, is just, changes fundamentally if Google loses this. So they have to be much slower, much more measured in their approach. So that's my tech news. Just a quick follow up on that AI discussion. And everything I've got else is gaming stuff. So I'll hold on to that for now.
Yeah. That makes a lot more sense. And I think to add to that, like, kind of my thoughts on it. I mean, obviously everyone's kind of wanting to see what Microsoft does, so that's why it's getting this, because everyone knows Google's working. So Microsoft just adding something, everyone's going to try and break it, which in a sense they have.
Oh yeah.
And so that makes sense. But yeah, put it in that perspective. Yeah, all it is to gain from Microsoft. So that does make sense.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, Landon, you have anything you want to talk about?
I do. And I want to start off with some sort of Apple. Well, it is Apple related. I just want to give my thoughts on the new MLS Season Pass that Apple TV has come out with. This weekend was the first opening weekend of the newest MLS season, so I dove head on into this MLS Season Pass thing, and as a fan of the league in the US and as a fan of a team in this league, I enjoyed watching the games that I did on MLS Season Pass. So they have, like, you can watch all the games on there, no blackouts, it's really nice. You can watch it in over 100 different countries, they said, launching with, and it's pretty awesome. The quality is better, like video quality is better than what we had seen with MLS on both Fox or ESPN, for that matter, in my opinion. It looked really nice. The commentators were mostly pretty good. There were some that were like meh. So, I mean, they're already better on that than they were with MLB, because that was always the biggest complaint with the MLB stuff, is that the commentators were just not good. Which, to be fair, baseball commentators have a really hard job to make that sport interesting to watch on television.
Yeah.
And you got to get someone that knows what they're talking about. And so I'll give Apple a pass on that one for now. But when it came to MLS, they chose pretty well, I think, with who they got to do these games. They also have what they call MLS 360. It's basically like if you watch NFL, they have what is called the red zone, where they have someone in a studio and then they cut to different games as something exciting is happening, basically. So in NFL, like if somebody's about to, like if they get close to the end zone, they're going to go to that game and they'll start talking about it, and then they'll go to another game and back and forth. That's kind of what this was with soccer. If someone was scoring a goal, they'll go to that game, they'll replay the goal, they'll go to the live commentary on it, and then they'll come back and start talking other stuff. And I watched a little bit of that. It was quite entertaining because they're talking not just one game, they're talking all the games, they're talking all the teams. And the studio they built in New York for this is outstanding. Like, it is phenomenal. It is really nice studio. And it was, overall, I was impressed with it. This first weekend was free. I don't know how it's going to be this next weekend. Probably, I know they're going to have a few games every week that are going to be free to watch. But if you are a soccer fan, I think it's worth the price. If you don't pay for Apple TV Plus, it's, I think, $14.99 a month or $100 for the whole season. If you do pay for Apple TV Plus, it's $12.99 a month or $80 for the whole season, I think. So, not horribly priced, but But my first impressions on it were positive. I liked it. Being able to watch things in the app was really nice. The only downside so far that I'm seeing, and this could very easily be fixed, is the day afterwards, right now, I can't go back and re-watch a game. From what it appears, if I go click on that game, it's just giving me a recap of that game, basically a 10-minute highlight reel of what happened in that game, which is fine. But there are times where if I didn't have a chance to watch the game live at the time, I would want to, start it later. So if I don't have that option, that's kind of an unfortunate thing. Now, you can, if you don't start it right at the beginning and it's still going on, when you go to click on to watch the game, you can either watch live or watch from the start. So it's giving you that option, which is nice. So it's kind of like a DVR without having to go in there and select, okay, I want to make sure I can record this game. It'll just kind of does it for you. But again, I don't know, once that game is aired, once it's over, I haven't been able to find an option to go back and watch it from start to finish yet. Again, that's something that could very easily be changed, and hopefully will, because I've seen a decent amount of people complaining about that. So hopefully Apple is listening and will change things. But overall, I'm liking it so far. So those are my thoughts. I'm not banking on any thoughts from either Wes or Caleb because they don't care.
I mean, yeah, like the two quote unquote sporting events that I follow, that I have followed in the past are drum corps and freaking disc golf, like PDGA stuff. And yeah, technically you can pay a yearly price to follow the seasons for both of those as well. And I don't like either of them enough to do that. So yeah, I'm really not the target audience for this at all.
Yeah. And those aren't available on Apple TV either. So. I mean, the long play for Apple is to try to get NFL. That's their.
Yeah.
They've been pushing for that for a couple years now. So they're using MLS as kind of a look what we can do, and then eventually maybe they'll get some games. I don't think NFL will ever be exclusive to anyone because it never has been, and it's not going to be. There's just way too much money. But Apple could do like what Amazon does, and Thursday Night Football is on Amazon. So they could do something like that, where maybe they get Monday Night Football away from ESPN somehow, or they get one game a week on Sunday. I don't know, something like that. But
man, what would that do to ESPN?
I mean, I don't know. Monday Night Football is it's an interesting one. I haven't watched it in a lot of years, but it is getting better because they've gotten like there's the normal ESPN broadcast, which is again I think is better now because they got Troy Aikman and Joe Buck that used to be the Fox guys. They stole them from Fox and got them for that, which I like them. But they also have you can watch a version of the game with Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, just kind of hanging out, watching a game together, and it's actually really entertaining. Those guys are hilarious. So that's one way to watch. So ESPN is getting better when it comes to that. So I don't think they'll steal it from ESPN. I don't think I think the easiest play for Apple would be trying to get it away from Amazon, or maybe a game or two on Sundays. But again, that it's going to be a while before that happens. All right, now some Google news. So Google has this fancy little tool inside of Google Photos if you have a Pixel phone that's come out in the last couple of years. It's called Magic Eraser, and it is a cool little tool, and it works well, and it's been a Pixel exclusive for its entire existence up until this past week. Kind of. Well, yeah. So Google announced that if you have a Google One membership, so if you're paying for their cloud storage thing, you can now have Magic Eraser inside of Google Photos, no matter what your phone is. So this includes any Android phone that has Google Photos and iOS. So this is actually making it a lot more tempting to get Google One because I use Google Photos on a regular basis. I've been thinking about getting it anyways. This is just tipping me over the edge a little bit. And I like this. I think it's cool. It's funny though because, a couple weeks ago during the Super Bowl they had this massive ad campaign about, "Hey, look at Magic Eraser exclusively on the Pixel." And then 2 weeks later, they're like, "Oh, never mind. It's everywhere." Kind of.
This is what happens when nobody at your company talks to anybody else at your company. Is you have your marketing department spend literally millions of dollars on a 30-second Super Bowl spot to market your phone by advertising a specific feature that your software department has already moved to the cloud and is planning on making available to everybody who subscribes to their services division. And none of these divisions talk to each other. And so, it's nice job, Google. Your organizational woes are continue to be entertaining. It is just baffling to me that Google functions as well as it does, given issues like this.
Yeah, they have gotten better in some ways, but not all of them and not most of them.
And they still have a half dozen messaging clients.
Yeah. And I mean, we'll talk more about this type of thing in a minute, but keeping on the Google Photos thing. So if you have a Pixel phone that did not have this previously, so basically a non-Tensor chip Pixel phone, this is coming to your phone for free. So you don't have to pay for Google One to get this if you're on a previous generation Pixel phone. So that is nice.
Yay.
But again, I do think it's going to be not quite as fast on other phones because it is using the cloud to do this. I would really hope that they could change that on iOS because the A chip is definitely going to be fast enough to do this.
The machine learning on the A series chips can do it, I'm sure, but it's probably way different, like the architecture on the processor. And so it may very well be the kind of thing where in order for that to work, Google would have to rebuild the app from the ground up. It's probably a lot easier to just stick it in the cloud.
Yeah. But I do like that this is now available to anybody that wants it on Google Photos if you have a Google One subscription. Like I said, I am very tempted to do that. Mostly for this, because I have been wanting Magic Eraser since they announced it. It's a cool feature. All right, now on to more confusing things that Google does just because they don't talk to anybody inside of Google or in any of their other companies. So, YouTube Music, which in and of itself is proof that Google just doesn't know what they're doing when it comes to certain things.
Yep.
Because Google Play Music was a great product, and a lot of people used it. Like, I used it. It did so many things. And then they're like, hey, look at this YouTube Music thing. It doesn't work, but we're going to push it like it does.
Hey, I use it.
And it still has problems because I don't know. I know you use it, Wes. And a lot of people do use it because it's the only music service that they offer now because they got rid of Google Play Music. And didn't.
It's true.
It's I don't need to go on a rant. Anyways, so a couple weeks ago we mentioned how Google Podcasts is kind of up in the air. Like, Google still says that Google Podcasts they're still working on it. They're still doing things, But they also announced that podcasts are coming to YouTube Music. So, Google.
Yes.
What you need to do is keep Google Podcasts as its own thing, for one. And for two, make it have it pre-installed on every Android device. And people will use it. You want to know why Apple Podcasts is the number one used podcasting app? Is because it's pre-installed on every iPhone that gets sold. You want to become the number 2 podcasting app used really quickly? Just have it on your phones. Even if it's only on Pixel phones. Just have it pre-installed.
Yeah.
Don't throw it into YouTube Music, which also is not... Well, actually, YouTube Music might be pre-installed on Android devices at this point because it's their default music app. But people aren't going to... I don't know. This is just so stupid. That's all I can really say about this. Podcasts are coming to YouTube Music. Google, you're dumb. Okay, moving on. Speaking of companies being dumb, Meta has to go and one-up Elon Musk and... well, maybe not necessarily one-up. They're going to copy Elon Musk by offering a subscription service if you want to get verified on Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp. Now, I will say they are doing a better thing when it comes to being verified. You do have to have a state-issued ID to prove that you are who you are. So that is nice. But at the same time, don't give that to Zuckerberg. Do not do it. Please.
Do that. Man.
Yeah, this kind of thing is just super frustrating to me because, like, why are all of these companies doing this? Well, it's because people are fleeing their platforms for competing platforms. And instead of going, all right, what is it that the people want? Why are they leaving our platform? And solving that problem, going, okay, let's give the users what they want. Let's make this a really great service for them to use so that they'll stick with us so that we can continue to sell ads and make this free service available for them. Instead of doing that, they go, wow, let's see, how can we wring the last bit of money out of the people that are still here and in the process make it so much worse for them before they flee the app as well? Like, how can we make life worse for the people that stuck around? It's just, and Twitter did this, and now Facebook is doing it, and I'm just like, guys, you know what, listener?
Yeah.
Don't just leave Facebook. It's fine. You don't need it. You can ditch Instagram too, and Twitter, and let's just let all of these giant companies like dissolve into bankruptcy and go away and get replaced by something, because I think that would just be beneficial for everyone.
Yeah. Now, so the prices on this one, it's a little more expensive than what Twitter Blue is at $8 a month. So Facebook, well, okay, Meta Verified is what they're calling it, which it's so dumb. Is if you sign up on the web, specifically on their website, it's $12 a month. Or if you sign up via Android or iOS, which is going to be a lot of people because that's the easier route, it's $15 a month because they don't want to pay, or they don't want to, lose on that 30%. They're going to charge the customer for that because they're jerks. Oh, sorry. I'm very upset about this. But that's freaking I hate stupid people, and Mark Zuckerberg is just one of those stupid people. Now, I will say this potentially could be beneficial for some people. Now, those people are the ones that are in the influencer space that are making money off these apps, whether it's Facebook, WhatsApp, or Instagram, because the benefit to this is, you do get that verification, which proves that you are who you are. And in this case, I think it actually does, whereas on Twitter, it really doesn't. And it also helps make sure that your followers are going to see your stuff, which, again, is just even more proof that the algorithms are so stupid. But
there's a whole rabbit hole surrounding the algorithms on social media sites and how like they are kind of like the harbingers of the end times. Like, forget, 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, whatever. We've got the 4 algorithms of social media, and that is how the world ends. Like,
it's
so
true.
That's a different rabbit hole. We'll not get into that.
So yeah, like I said, this could benefit those people, like the very few people that are, making content and putting it out on these services. It could potentially be beneficial to them because paying that monthly cost isn't going to be, it's going to be worth basically more than what they're paying, because getting their content out there, especially if they're, getting products that they're advertising for other companies or their own product or whatnot, it's going to make them money. So in that sense, for them, it kind of makes sense. I still would say don't do this, but there's going to be people that do. But yeah, so freaking stupid companies doing stupid things need to be given a high five to the face with a chair.
Give him the chair.
Yes.
Yep.
That is all of my tech news for this week. But I want to end on a positive. Well, okay, nope, this isn't positive. It's more positive than what it could have been. So let's start with this. I've got some gaming news, but
do it.
Unfortunately, it's not as. Yes, it's positive that I have gaming news, but it's not the best gaming news. So, listener, we talked about this when it first came out. So, Rovio, the company behind Angry Birds, they came out with what they called Rovio Classics Angry Birds, which was basically the first iteration of Angry Birds that you could get on the App Store or the Play Store. And it was great. And you could pay for it. It didn't have ads. It was fantastic. But they just came out this week on Twitter, and I'm just going to read what they said here. And it's depressing. And it just goes to show that companies are going to just do what they want, not what our customers want. So it says,
Yep.
We have reviewed the business case of Rovio Classics Angry Birds And due to the game's impact on our wider games portfolio, we have decided that Rovio Classics Angry Birds will be unlisted from the Google Play Store on Thursday, February 23rd, which, by the way, has already happened. Additionally, the game will be renamed Red's First Flight in the App Store, pending further review. Rovio Classics Angry Birds will remain playable on devices on which the game has been downloaded, even after it has been unlisted. We understand that this is sad news for many fans, as well as the team that has worked hard to make Rovio Classics Angry Birds, that's a horrible name, a reality. We are extremely grateful to the Angry Birds fans who have shown their love of the brand and this game from the beginning. We hope those fans can continue to bring that passion to our live Angry Birds Slingshot games such as Angry Birds 2, Angry Birds Friends, and Angry Birds Journey, where our goal every day is to craft the best possible experience for players. That's what they said. Now, in case you happen to miss something that they said here, which I do have to hand it to them. They're not lying about what they're doing. They're not trying to sugarcoat it. They're blatantly saying what's happening. So they said, due to the game's impact on our wider games portfolio, basically, they're not going to give you a premium game that you pay up front for because it's taking away from their free-to-play games that you have to pay in-app purchases on and or have ads on.
Yep.
So the fact,
Yep. It's pretty sad. They basically took the game that was great for gamers and they're killing it because they want you to pay for microtransactions or watch a bunch of ads in order to play the games. And I did think it was really funny where, they're all like, go to our other games where our goal is to make the best thing. No, your goal is to make the most money possible. Just don't lie.
I mean, yes, they did. They didn't lie at the beginning. They did. The very last sentence is a lie. They said, where our goal every day is to craft the best possible experience for players. No, if that were true, you would keep this other game available.
Yep.
Exactly. No, our goal is every day to make the most dollars that we possibly can from our players. That's your goal. Don't pretend otherwise, Rovio. You're not fooling anybody.
Yeah.
And
you're not the only one. Like,
yep. Oh yeah. This is not just an Angry Birds thing, but it was honestly kind of refreshing when they released something that was like a premium game that you just paid 99 cents for and you owned the game. Like, what are the freaking odds?
I did that.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, it's sad. It really is. Like, and then they're going to change the name so it doesn't impact.
Yeah, it's like they're unlisting it from Android. I'm pretty sure the only reason they haven't taken it off of the App Store is because, might very well have something to do with Apple Arcade, because Angry Birds is in Apple Arcade as well. And so they've got an agreement with Apple, so that version has to stay there. And obviously they make money off of that version differently anyways, so maybe that one does stick around. But changing the name of it on the App Store to Red's First Flight just means that if somebody goes and searches for Angry Birds,
you're not going to find it.
Is not going to show up.
Oh, so bad.
So yeah, it's
so
great.
bad. So I mean, it's really, it's so. I should have ended with better news. This was just not fun.
And Landon showed up with all of the rants this week, listener. That doesn't usually happen.
Listen,
no,
now you know my frustration with gaming companies right now. Just talking about Sony and Microsoft and all that crap.
Yeah.
Just a little hint. Like, stuff that gaming companies say right now, just so infuriating, because it's like, just say the truth. Like, that's all we want. Just say the truth. Don't sit there and say, listen, Call of Duty, we need it, or we'll just die. We'll just die if we don't have it.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Same as this. Hey, what a segue, right? Let's get into this. Let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to go ahead and take over the gaming news, all right? I'm assuming that you're already done talking about this.
Oh, I need to be, yeah.
Well, let's get this out of the way. So the reason why I'm bringing up the Activision Blizzard and Microsoft mergers, they had a big meeting with regulators, and Sony was there, and lawyers, and reporters, and everybody was there. And Microsoft was talking about, just showing basically Microsoft versus Sony market shares, this and this. Why is it okay for Microsoft to buy Activision Blizzard? A couple things I did want to point out. I thought was actually good. One, Microsoft, they had mentioned a 10-year deal of Call of Duty going to Nintendo players, saying that they made a deal for 10 years for Call of Duty. What they also said was for Xbox games as well. I double-checked this because I wanted to make sure. They also said other Xbox games other than Minecraft to go to Nintendo. They didn't say Nintendo Switch. They said to Nintendo.
Yes.
So
that may have just been a legal thing where they were just leaving their options open.
yes,
It also may have been that they were inadvertently hinting at development on a console that Nintendo has not yet announced, but
Right.
which they are privy to because legal stuff be that way.
So but what's interesting is in this contract is that they just signed 10 years for Xbox games right now. Now, if the contract goes through, then Call of Duty will hit over there as well.
Yep.
So I think that's pretty cool. They're sticking to their, we believe you play wherever you want. And I like this idea. And I like that it said Nintendo and not just Switch, because then, Nintendo might upgrade their stuff, their hardware, which would be good. So that's the first thing. Second that they touched on was they actually, they had other companies there. And obviously there was the deal with Steam. They're going to keep Call of Duty, and they're going to try and push more Xbox onto Steam and Xbox games, as well as Activision if it goes through. That was the incentive there as well. But then all of a sudden, from left field, they said, oh, by the way, we also just made a 10-year deal with NVIDIA. So they had said that this is now a 10-year deal agreement with NVIDIA to bring all Xbox PC games to the company's GeForce Now cloud gaming service. And then with the merger, all Activision, because as of right now, Activision is not on GeForce.
Yep.
Which is a win there. But also, one thing that they were saying is, if you have Xbox Game Pass, then you just link your NVIDIA account, and then you get all the Xbox Game Pass games that way as well. It's kind of digging deep to see how this will work, because NVIDIA GeForce doesn't have a store. You can't buy games.
No.
It's just kind of linking those accounts is what it is. And so I thought actually this was pretty cool. It's cool to see that Microsoft is saying, look, this is what we said we want to do, and here it is. It's in writing. It's legal binding, which is cool. I like this, which also gives that, I like the idea of cloud gaming, and this is that push to help competitors and other people get more into the cloud gaming, which is cool, which means more competition, and this is them pushing for it, for the cloud stuff. So
I will say the deal with GeForce Now, it's kind of cracks me up, because that's one of the things that if you subscribe to PC Games Pass and not to Games Pass Ultimate, that you don't get cloud gaming. And so by making this deal with GeForce Now, essentially what they're saying is, but you do get cloud gaming, you just have to get it through GeForce, not through Microsoft. And I'm like, but why? Why is that how you're doing this? I'm so confused.
I'm kind of wondering if they're going to start changing SKUs soon.
They might.
I'm wondering if they will, just to be listen, you got PC Game Pass, you just have Game Pass, here's the cloud gaming. I think, I don't know, they might.
It might have something to do with they want the PC version of the cloud gaming to feel the same as just playing the game on a PC. And what their xCloud's whole thing is that it's running on Xbox hardware, or virtualized Xbox hardware, at least, not on actual PC hardware, which means you're playing the Xbox version of the game, which is going to have like differences in terms of control layouts and that kind of thing, at least subtle differences in most games. And so maybe they're just saying like, yeah, if we partner with NVIDIA, then you do it through GeForce Now, then you're getting a PC native experience for your cloud gaming without having to, to deal with like, oh, okay, wait, if I'm doing cloud stuff, then it's a little bit more Xboxy than it is PC.
Right.
So I don't know, but sense. It's there's a couple of things about this just kind of cracked me up. But like, honestly, you can tell that their motivation for it is like, freaking whatever, prove to the regulators throughout the world that we don't actually care about exclusivity for Activision games so that Sony loses their leg that they are trying to stand on, which makes sense because I believe that. I believe they don't care about exclusivity for this. I just don't think they do. I think they're doing this for completely unrelated reasons. Yep. And that, this is one of the few occasions where I feel like they're actually being honest about their intentions.
Yeah. It kind of goes back to our conversation on the last episode, Caleb, with Minecraft on Chrome OS.
Yeah. Yes.
That I found out before the podcast that West has not listened to yet.
Listen, she's Santa. Leave me alone.
Anyways,
come on.
It kind of goes back to that where, like we said, Microsoft doesn't necessarily care as much about their hardware sales and stuff like that. They're actually proving they want the best experience for their customers, which thankfully does still happen in some companies out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I really like that they're like, look, this is what we want to do. We're trying to get everyone involved, and we're trying to make it so all of our customers can play wherever they want to play, as long as they're as long as they're playing our games. We don't really care where they play it, because that's what we want.
They also want to play with their friends and whoever they want.
Exactly.
It very much is the case where, like, they have said we don't care about exclusivity, and now they're doing everything that they can to prove it. And big companies don't do that very often. Like Apple says that the reason that they think that the App Store should be the only way for people to install stuff on iPhones is for security and, privacy reasons. But they haven't like killed the commission that they take off of in-app purchases or anything like that to prove that. Like, if they were to do that so that the App Store doesn't actually make them any money, then everyone would believe them. There would be no other justification for having the App Store in that circumstance.
And just like they say, the Apple Watch is made to save everyone's life, and yet you can't use it if you don't have an iPhone.
Exactly. So it's like, companies say things all the time, but very rarely do they ever prove that they meant what they said. Microsoft actually appears to be doing that in this case.
Yeah. Which is cool. I've been on the bandwagon of, this whole play anywhere you want, play with whoever on any hardware. I'm all for it. And everyone knows I've stated that many times to you guys, the podcast, which is cool. And I really enjoy that. And I'm glad I was able to get your take on the NVIDIA thing, because, it is something as someone that plays Xbox on a console a lot, like Xbox games, I didn't think about when you stream from the browser or from the Game Pass app on the PC that you're getting an Xbox.
It's an Xbox first experience,
right?
It's designed for the Xbox,
which is cool, which is really cool, which helps that the cloud gaming, the accessibility and everything, which is great. I think it's great innovation, and that's what I like seeing. And it's cool that they're just signing these deals, which is cool, but also, like, hey, if this Activision deal doesn't go through, you still get all the Xbox games. Like, it's just like,
true.
Here, like, we believe in this so much that even if it's not like you have to make this deal go through or else you get nothing. It's no, here's 10 years. Here you go. Here. They had it for everybody. The one thing I did have to laugh at with Sony there and their lawyers, I think his name's Brad Smith, got up there and he's like, oh, and here's the contract for 10 years for Sony that they still haven't signed, which I'm holding right here. You're more than welcome to sign right here. I have for Call of Duty. Like he full on was right there. Like Jim, what was his name? Jim Ryan, dude, right there. Like right here. So I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
Sony's not
funny.
going to sign that.
Well, it's funny. Like, there's some interesting things that are happening, and right now, and it's interesting because right now they're kind of pretty much have where, what's really interesting to think is right now Google's kind of on the end playing with Sony. Like, yeah, we maybe don't want this deal, but if they would have kept Stadia alive this last year, they would have a 10-year deal with all Activision games and everything. If they would have just kept it alive just a little sooner. Like,
they would have waited 3 extra months. That's all they needed.
3 months.
3 more months.
No, seriously. Like, they were saying they had to cancel Stadia because acquisitions like this.
No.
If you would have waited.
No. What happened? And this just goes back to our previous conversation. So this was in discussions with someone at Google. Just they didn't tell the right
They
people.
didn't tell anyone else.
True.
So there's somebody at Google. It's like, oh crap! I knew I forgot something.
What's that? We could have partnered. Like, how interesting would have been if they did partner with Stadia to use Stadia's technology for the cloud gaming. Like, see, it's this stuff. Oh, it drives me nuts. Innovation because of. Oh, sorry. Here's my rant. I've said this. The innovation of gaming just went down the tube because of this deal, and everyone's being chicken. Like, sorry. Because people like Sony and they're being jerks. They really are. You can't say they're not. Now, Microsoft, I do feel for the Microsoft employees right now, like gaming people that are working there, when Microsoft goes in and says, hey, we're making lots of money and you guys are doing great. But then they go to regulators saying, look, we suck. So that I could feel. I get that. But, like, I don't know. There's my frustrations because sometimes I hear these things and this silly stuff, that bureaucracy and things like that. I'm just like, really? Like, everyone wants this except Sony. And Google just did it because, I don't know, Sony's going to give them a deal on something. I don't know. But now I don't know that for sure. I'm just saying that out loud. But just annoys me as well. And I just hope this goes. I'm going to be honest. I hope this goes through just soon. But the last thing I heard is the latest date for, I think it's the FTC to really pass or give something on this is like August. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. So there's probably going to be more news on this. I wish it was just pass and be done, but we'll see. I don't know. Also, let's go ahead and move on from that. I did want to talk about, moving on from that, Microsoft also said that they are putting out the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Friends and Family Plan to 6 new countries. Sadly, it's not mine. So they did say that beginning today, Xbox players in Chile, Hungary, Israel, New Zealand, South Africa, and Sweden will be able to join the plan. It enables up to the 5 friends and family for Game Pass Ultimate. So, congratulations. I really want this for over here, which is great. So, what's nice to see is that the first initial launch, apparently there's some success to this. So then they're releasing it a little more. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and move on. Something I did want to mention, Microsoft Flight Simulator just continues to be so cool and awesome, not just in technology, but also with this new update that's coming out, which makes me want to download this almost 200 gigabyte game again. Should have kept it on my hard drive. But they are now releasing the next world update, which is New Zealand, but they are adding Hobbiton
Nice.
in this. The movie set of Hobbiton, so you can fly over, and
fly over. Forget that. I'm crashing into it.
Right?
Okay.
Like, just
my question here is if you do fly into the area, does your plane all of a sudden change to giant eagles?
How cool would that be? They haven't said anything, but
Microsoft, you can have that one for free. Come on.
Yes, come on.
Right? I mean, they have their own store, and people are adding stuff all the time to this. So this, I mean, Listen, if people can ride Shrek in Hogwarts Legacy because they modded their broom to look like Shrek, just saying. Also, with that announcement with Flight Simulator, they did announce that the new Forza Horizon 5 DLC is coming out. It's a rally DLC. It's supposed to be kind of fun, just kind of more off-roading rally type. That's also coming out too. You can take a look at that as well. Sony, they had a state of play. I actually did not watch it, but having Sony games, they had it kind of, from what I heard, was dumbed down quite a bit. But they did have the big announcement, I guess, or trailer they had was for Suicide Squad, that new one that's coming out. A lot of people it's very mixed. Very mixed. It's either you really dislike this or you really like it. There is no So
those are the best kinds of games.
So we'll see what this is. I think what it is a lot of people are thinking Rocksteady, and they're like, Batman Arkham. Those are really good single player, but this is their first hit at a multiplayer.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are saying this is Crackdown 4.
Yeah, it's very much a case of I think that the people who hate it are the people who hate live service games. And to be fair, I get that live service games, generally speaking, suck. Because they're exceedingly grindy, and then after a year or two, they shut down the servers, and you lose all of your progress and any money that you put into it. That's what happened with Anthem, and It is an anomaly that Destiny 2 continues to be a thing. So
I mean, that's Bungie, man. They're good at what they're doing.
Yeah.
So,
but you look at Anthem, you look at the Marvel's Avengers game, there's a very strong desire for games like that to just kind of die out, because generally speaking, they don't last. They just don't work. And so I think that's where most of the hatred is coming from.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And then last but not least for my gaming news, I did want to mention, it's kind of mobile game news. Bethesda Softworks has released so you could pre-register for this game. It's called Mighty Doom.
Mm-hmm.
It is a mobile game. Definitely a mobile game.
It really is, yeah.
But you're the Doom Slayer, but as a toy form, and you're going around killing all the other
toy demons.
Monsters and demons that are in toy form.
It's super bizarre to see it's like chibi demons. What?
Yeah. Yep.
Such a strange aesthetic. Okay.
What I have heard, this is definitely a cash grab.
Yeah.
Definitely. What's sad is apparently, so people that have tried this already, they've come out, and I was kind of looking into it. So it is about, you have a certain amount of energy you can do. Once you run out of energy, you're out for however many hours, or you can pay money to get more energy.
Mm-hmm.
There are skins in this game where you can pay money to buy, but it is not a multiplayer game, so you're just buying skins for yourself. So, yay. But I'm looking at it, it seems okay. It could be addicting, but I mean, if you're a free-to-play person, you may just have enough time to hop on, mess, and then hop out. So,
yeah.
I actually pre-registered just because I'm like, I like Doom. Why not? I'm going to give it a try and just mess with it. I don't think I'm going to get any skins or anything because that seems silly.
No, yeah.
But I'll take her with it.
This is funny to me because it's very, very obvious that you two are both not mobile gaming people.
You are correct.
Look, I like mobile games. I hate bad mobile games.
That's fair. But it's just so funny to me to listen to you guys talk about mobile games.
So I will say that there are a few free-to-play mobile games that I actually really, really like a lot. It's not just the premium games, though, to be fair. Stuff like Monument Valley and the Alto games and that kind of thing are the mobile games that I like the most. One flat payment and you own the thing. There's no ads. That's great. Fire Emblem Heroes is a good example of a mobile game that I consider to have been done extremely well. For me, who is a casual player, who is kind of just there to play through like the stories and casually collect and build teams slowly and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I never run out of energy. It's impossible. I literally played that game for like 4 straight hours one time, just trying to run out of energy, and I couldn't. Like, it was not possible. So the only way to run out of energy in that game is if you get to be really high level, you play the game extremely seriously, and then you're playing against, you're doing the multiplayer stuff, you're playing against other people, and eventually you will start to run out of energy in that case, in which case, yeah, you're going to need to put some money into the game in order to continue to play it the way that you have. So basically, if you're the type of person who is putting load on their servers and making it so that they have to pay for the uptime for their multiplayer, then you have to pay them to do that. Whereas me, I'm not doing that. I'm not basically draining them of money, so they're not actually charging me anything. And I appreciate that in games like that. And so there's mobile games like that work well. And honestly, this might be one of them, listener. I don't know. The way that it's been described, it feels a little bit more cash grabby and evil than that. But there are games that are fine that work that way. It's just that, yeah, I mean, Landon's not wrong. When it comes to mobile games, I prefer premium mobile games that I can just buy once, and that's why I'm subscribed to Apple Arcade.
Yep.
Well, the thing that got me the most was with you guys was the skins thing. It's like, okay, to me, I look at that and I think, okay, because you're like, the only reason, like, well, you said it's not a multiplayer game, so why am I buying skins? Like, the skins to me, like in other games, is for me to look at. Why do I care what other people think about my character? So to me, that's the only reason you buy skins anyways, is because it looks better. I think it looks cooler. What, I don't know. Is there another reason to gain skins in other games other than to make you think it looks cooler? Who cares what other people think how your character looks?
I think that's not necessarily a mobile gaming thing. I think that's just a difference in like general, consensus.
Well, that's
over
the sentiment
the
I got
function of
from
cosmetic and skins.
From what I said. Yeah.
I mean, that's from what you guys, both of your reactions to that were identical. And like, why would you get skins in a mobile game? It's just for you. You're the only one seeing it. Like, duh. That's why you buy skins in any game, isn't it?
Well, okay. I think my reaction to this can best be summed up as, I will never pay money for skins or cosmetics in any way, shape, or form.
And that's fine.
The fact that they're charging money for skins, I'm just like, nope, I'm out. And it doesn't matter if it's in a mobile game, doesn't matter if it's in a multiplayer game, doesn't matter if it's single player or something like that. Like, I love going into The Witcher 3 and, dressing Geralt up and making him look silly and stuff like that. Like, that's good fun. I don't have to pay extra money for that. And Overwatch, like, I loved having a bunch of skins in Overwatch 1 back when you could get them without having to spend money and or play the game for literally 40 hours a week. Like, it's, yeah, I really enjoyed that. But now I couldn't care less about their skins because you have to either play the game 40 hours a week to get them or pay money. Like, literally, like, single skins cost $20 and stuff like that. So, it's that's my take on it. It's not necessarily like, well, I don't understand why if you can't have other people see them, why would you buy skins? Mine is just, why would you buy skins? I don't.
Fair enough.
So.
I guess on my take, I was saying that, but then I'm here thinking, I'm like, oh, I've considered buying like on a Final Fantasy game that's strictly single player to have an outfit from a different Final Fantasy game that I like, and I'm like, okay, fair enough. I would probably do that. So I get that. But no, I guess I was more on the lines of like, it's fun to have people be like, well, you got that accomplishment or you did this and you got a skin. I guess this is going back to my old Warcraft days where it's like, well, he got the cool armor piece or this piece. And so, I think that's kind of where that stemmed from.
Yeah, gotcha. Back when your cosmetics were tied to what you've actually done in the game as opposed to just a storefront.
But I will say this, it's Bethesda and it's Doom, and I'm sure there's going to be some wicked cool skins that even I'd be like, I'm gonna be honest. There was one in the Doom Eternal where you are the Doom guy, but you're dressed as Commander Keen.
Oh,
And that was I think that was a free drop at one point. You just had to just log into the game, and I was like, okay, you got me there. And Doom is a single player game on that, so you got me there.
I mean, I haven't played any of these higher, quote unquote, higher end mobile games. I play a lot of dumber mobile games, but any game that I've played that has these cosmetic things, again, they're only for me, but I can pay to get them, yes, but I can also just wait, and eventually I will get them. It's not like, the only option is to pay, and maybe there are games where the only option to get these things is to pay.
Rush 2.
Again,
sorry,
I'm talking.
I know.
I'm talking exclusively mobile games. Again, there probably are those games, and this maybe that's the case, but I could also see the fact that you can pay to get all these things right now, or you can, as you do things in the game, eventually as rewards in aspects of the game, you get things like that. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, that's how I always play
see
games.
That.
Is like I wait until it's like, oh, that's I can see all the different, there's a car game I have. I can see all the different paint jobs that I can get for this car. It's like, oh, that's a cool one. I'll wait till it comes up in a prize box or something like that. I'm not gonna pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping there is something like that. I didn't know if there was also a progression to it. Sometimes there's just like, this is only you pay money and this is how you get the skin. Yeah. And I think that's where I was like, but if there's a progression thing, then I'm all for it, because I'm old school progression. You earn something cool like that. Like, I'm for that.
Yeah, we all know you're the achievement whore here.
Oh, I really am. I really am.
I'm not gonna lie though, I'm kind of the same way. Like, I just re-downloaded Carrot Weather, and it's got all the achievements. I'm like, oh crap, I gotta get all those.
Listen, this is how bad of an achievement whore I am. So I played Batman Arkham City 3 times. Once was on the 360. Second is I bought it right for the computer, but it was like right before they did Xbox Live on the computer. It was like Windows Live. So I got double the achievements there, and then they remastered it and put it on the Xbox One. So it went from 360 to Windows, then remastered it, and then you get all new achievements. I did it again. So yeah, yes, I am.
I mean, I can't give you too much crap, because there's a Sudoku game that I have on my phone, and I had it on my Android phone as well, and it did not copy over my progression. There's a daily Sudoku game you can do, and you get these stars on every day. I went back when I got my iPhone and did an entire year's worth of games so I could get all those stars back. So I understand. I'm kind of the same way.
And then there's me, who spends 70 hours playing an RPG and gets to the end, and it's all like I've finished the main quest, I finished the vast majority of the side quests, and then you look at my quote-unquote percentage complete of the game, which is based on like the achievement, like you can see
achievements.
Okay, hours spent in game, okay, here's the percentage of the achievements you've gotten. I'm at like 8% or something like that. I'm nowhere even close to quote-unquote completing the game, and I just don't care. I'm done. Like, whatever.
You finished the storyline, I'm good.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, I remember I was getting down a bad path of that, where it's like I would play a game just to get the achievements and then just not enjoy it. So I've had to restructure my thought, like, because I completed Diablo 3 on the Xbox and got all the achievements, and then I was like, I never have to play this again. But then I'm like, no, I need to play. Like, that's totally not what.
Now, I will say I am kind of a combination of the two of you, because if I'm playing a game that has a story, or it's like there's an end point to this game, I will try and get to that point rather than do this level, all the achievements, do this level, I'll get through it, and then I'll go back and then do all the extra side things or whatnot on games.
Oh, no. As soon as side stuff comes up, I get every side thing I can. Then I move the story forward. Then that's why it takes me forever for RPGs.
It like takes you 200 hours to play a 40-hour game.
Oh, dude, my last what was my last big RPG? Maybe it was Dragon Age Inquisition. It might have been, but like it took me out. Like if you go look, you probably could on the Xbox. If you go look through my games and go to like see how many hours, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know, one thing I do miss that Xbox used to do on the 360 is when you would get an achievement, like certain achievements, they would give you like a cosmetic for like your Xbox avatar. So like Red Dead Redemption, you get a certain achievement, then you get like Marston's hat, then his pistol, or like you get Lara Croft's bow, and and I miss that because sometimes you'd also get like from like Castle Crashers, you get like a Castle Crasher helmet for beating something or an achievement. I was like, that's pretty cool. But obviously avatars are long gone, but it'd be cool kind of that stems back from my Warcraft days, like I said. Like, you worked for it, and when you got it, everyone was like, oh my gosh. But
yeah. And then there's me, where basically if the game is not entertaining me with gameplay or some kind of interesting story, I'm out. And that's why, like, mobile game cosmetics that are locked away behind, you just have to wait for them to pop up, I never get those because most of those games don't hold my attention for long enough. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. But then there are games that do hold my attention for long enough, which is why I had, at one point, I mean, they keep adding characters to it, but at one point I had something like 90% of the available characters in Crossy Road unlocked on my account. just through the free, like, I collected enough coins to roll 100 and get a draw. And that's counting the ridiculous frequency of duplicates in that game. So, like, yeah, if the game is good, then sure, I'll play it that long, but most of the time, it does not happen.
A
perfect example of that for me is Super Mario Run.
Yeah, no kidding.
I've gotten every single achievement and every single award you possibly can on that game. But I still play it because it's a fun game.
Because it's fun, yeah. I really like it when the developers focus on making the game fun and having that be the reason why you continue to play, instead of trying to make the game like some kind of social addiction or something like that. And, I appreciate it when they make the game more like, I don't know, really good food than they make it like nicotine, Like, nobody
that
comes
is such
back
a good
to
example
because
so a good example
of the taste. They come back because they're chemically addicted to it. Whereas people come back to a good restaurant because the food is good, not because they're chemically addicted to it. Anyways.
Hey, who says there's no cocaine in your pizza over there?
You know what? I am confident that there is no cocaine.
Fair enough. Oh, we got on a rant.
85%. Yeah, that was a huge tangent.
That was a huge tangent of achievement.
Sorry.
I didn't expect that at all.
That was my fault.
It's okay. I mean, it's good because you're getting all sorts of different... It's good because you see the different points of view on a mobile game versus all this thing, which is why we have this, because it's good, because there's times that I'll be stuck in my way and Landon will say something or Caleb will say, and I'm just like, never thought of it that way. That's good. This is good. There we go. All right. That's actually all my gaming news. But I'm going to go ahead and swing it over to Caleb. Caleb, what do you got for gaming?
Guys, I didn't bring any rants today. I don't know what's happened.
Me and Landon got that covered.
I'm pretty sure that I saw some pigs fly past the window just now. So, listener, all of my gaming news is neutral to good. So I guess that's where we're going here. First off, this is kind of okay. So technically, this is Apple TV Plus news, but it's gaming. Trust me, Apple is producing a movie about Tetris. Now,
I saw that.
Like, you hear that and you think to yourself, okay, how are they going to turn falling blocks into the Emoji Movie and make it terrible? But no, what this actually is a biopic about the process of getting Tetris bundled with the original Game Boy. And like everything that went into that, because the game was developed by a Russian during the Cold War.
Yeah.
And so there's like international politics involved with this and everything. So it actually looks pretty interesting. I'm kind of excited to see that.
My favorite part of the trailer is how they tied in the Tetris theme to,
Yeah.
you know, real like actual songs that are in, you know, available to listen to. It's awesome.
It is. It looks pretty cool. Looks really good. So, okay, next thing, PlayStation, the PSVR. That is a thing that has launched. PSVR 2, now available to purchase for more than the cost of your PS5. Hey, so that's cool.
Yep.
Handful of launch titles with this thing. I think probably the most interesting launch title for it, from my perspective, is the Horizon Forbidden West spinoff thing. Because I don't know, Horizon has a really interesting setting to me. That's a very interesting sci-fi setting. Like it quite a bit, and I would love to explore that in VR. So looks interesting to me, but I have neither a PS5 or the desire to buy a PS5. So,
or the desire to buy 2 PS5s, because that's the cost of this.
Basically,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's I'm not going to be playing it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll watch a VR walkthrough of it on my Quest. I don't know.
You know,
There's not really any other way to experience this. You know,
I'm not gonna lie. I still want to try that VR. What is it, Alex from Valve?
Yeah,
They would have put that on there. That's a selling one right there. I'm just saying.
Well, you know, I can plug my Quest into my computer and I could actually play that. It would be
have you tried it yet?
Super low frame rate, but I might puke, but it's okay. I don't need a powerful graphics card for VR. What are you talking about? Who said?
Yeah,
Wes,
who said that?
Wes, you have a VR headset.
That's true.
Yeah, but my PC would explode.
Okay, just upgrade your GPU. They're like actually reasonably priced now.
All right. Well, I
If
probably
you buy
have
a
to
used
upgrade my
one.
processor, wouldn't I?
It's in like an i5, isn't it?
It's an i3. It's the 8th gen.
Oh, it's an
remember, you helped
i3
me.
8th
You helped me buy
Oh.
this thing. Remember, it is
Yeah,
4 core.
It's been a
But
long
it's-
time. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay, you probably would need to upgrade like your entire PC. Oh well.
Yeah. Oh well.
Okay. So speaking of upgrading your entire PC, listener, this has nothing to do with that. Polymega is a company. They make a retro game emulation console, is essentially what it is. It's kind of a standalone console that is the base unit is designed to emulate all of the CD-based game consoles of your youth. So the Sega Saturn, the PlayStation 1 and 2, and so on and so forth. And they have modules you can add on to it that will accept cartridges for like the N64 and the NES and the the Dreamcast was CD-based, wasn't it? Wasn't there a Sega console
It was
before
like
that
a small.
was... Yeah, I can't remember. But, you know, cartridge
Yeah, there
consoles.
was a Sega CD, but yeah.
Yeah, so like there was Sega CD, and I swear that was... Anywho, point is, they make this console, right? That's what Polymega does. It's kind of an expensive console, especially if you need to add on a bunch of, modules to it. But it lets you play your library of retro games on your TV like you own the console, you know, without you having to maintain a whole bunch of old consoles, which is nice. They have announced this past week that they are making an app to bring their game emulation library and support to many devices. They didn't really specify, but you know, you can assume some mobile devices, computers, other game consoles possibly. And essentially the app is going to take their console emulation technology, like all of the emulators and the library that they've built around that, to all of their supported devices. And if you're paying for their premium subscription for the thing, then you will be getting stuff like cloud library syncing and cloud save syncs and stuff like that. Now, to be clear, that's if you pay for the premium stuff. The app will be available for free in some format. So, as somebody who has definitely dabbled more than a bit with old console emulation on computers and stuff like that, when you come across an emulator or an emulation environment that is easy to use, that allows you to basically just, okay, here's my game, I stick it in and it works. That is super, super rare. The vast majority of the time it requires a whole bunch of configuration, and even then, you're not guaranteed anything. If you've ever messed around with RetroArch, you know what I'm talking about. Very powerful tool, awesome that it's open source, but yeah, it's probably worth, going to a company that gets paid to do this sort of thing to make it easy. And that's essentially what Polymega is advertising with the free version of their app. You're basically going to get your RetroArch desktop environment, except with no configuration, so that you can play all of your old games on whatever. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
They're also advertising compatibility with a variety of controllers as well. I guess that matters to people that don't just use keyboards for everything. But yeah, so if you've got a big old library of retro games that are not retro PC games, then yeah, you should definitely check this out. I probably will check it out when it goes live. And yeah, maybe I'll let you know what I think, listener.
I want to know.
All right. I'm going to move on from that to our indie game spotlight of the week, because I promised we were going to be doing that to prove that people are still doing interesting things in the gaming space, despite the fact that all of the large publishers and developers have been locked up in this whole Activision purchase thing for the past year. So, the game of this week is File Destined. Okay? Now, what this is a psychological survival horror game. Think Resident Evil or Layers of Fear, stuff like that. Not really my jam, but here's the key. Metavision Studios, the developer and publisher of this game, did it in Unreal Engine 5.
Oh.
Which is a thing that you would expect to have happened from major developers at this point, really super pretty Unreal Engine 5 games, but it hasn't happened. And do you know why it hasn't happened? Well, AAA development takes longer than indie development, and also these developers have been locked up in, litigation and crap like that surrounding the Activision purchase for the past year. So, okay, we're relying on the indie developers to actually do something with this. Yep. And the fact of the matter is, File Destined looks outstanding. It seems like it's a pretty good showcase for what even indie developers can do with Unreal Engine 5. Small teams just working on a tightly integrated experience can do something pretty incredible. So if you're looking for some psychological horror that you want to, that you can play through, it's a fairly short game, and, it's an indie game. It's not like a super long Resident Evil length experience or anything like that. But if you like that kind of thing, definitely worth checking out. And now we come to my final piece of gaming news, in which, yeah, we're just going right back to it. The best people on the internet, Doom modders. So,
yes,
the best versions of this segment always involve the game running on something you would not expect. Now, I hate to maybe lower your expectations a little bit this time, listener, but we've already talked about playing Doom on a Lego brick. That is, in fact, a thing we've already discussed. Somebody embedded a tiny OLED display into one of the slanted Lego bricks and played Doom on a separate processor running on this tiny little display.
Yep.
So that guy didn't stop there. He did not stop there. He's now playing Doom on a Lego brick. Except it's completely self-contained. It's not just a display, it's a microprocessor embedded into that same Lego brick, and he's got a second Lego brick stuck onto the bottom of it that has an integrated gyro in it. Okay? Which is what's allowing him controls. So basically you tip the brick to move Doom Guy around, tip it forward, sideways, back, in order to get him to move forward and to the side and everything like that, and turn. And then he has capacitive studs, right? Little capacitive touch sensors for the studs on top of the brick to fire your weapons. You just tap on that and it shoots. It looks absolutely awful to play, but it's playable.
That's amazing.
Dude is playing Doom on a fetching Lego brick. Like we were just talking about the tiny little keychain Game Boy thing that they got Doom running on, was that like 4 weeks ago or something like that? Here's a dude running it on something much smaller. So, yeah.
That's amazing.
I just can't with these guys. Doom modders. What do you say?
You're awesome.
Legitimately the best people on the internet.
Seriously, it's so great. So there you go, listener. I hope that was a nice, bright ending to the tech news for you. And that's what I got.
Which is good. Very good.
After this, everything else that we talked about on this episode, we needed a great ending like that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I got like so many high notes there. Tetris movie, somebody's actually doing something with Unreal Engine 5, retro consoles, Doom on a Lego brick. Yeah, all good news.
Not normal for you, but hey,
I know. I had like nothing to rant about. I'm feeling pretty good, listener. I don't know. This is so strange.
Well, awesome. Well, I think that's the end of the episode, unless Landon has one more thing.
Nope.
Nope.
I mean, I could rant some more, but I don't feel like it.
Fair enough. All right, dear listener. If you have anything you wanted us to talk about or want to get a hold of us, you can at our social media platforms. Also at callingallplatforms.com. If you want to check out any of our videos, take a look at them on Calling All Platforms on YouTube. All right, dear listener. Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Calling All Platforms is a production of Supporter Sound Studios. To learn more about how you can support the podcast, go to www.patreon.com/callingallplatforms.